Hi students, in this video we're going to learn how to do addition and subtractions of algebraic functions. Do get ready a pen and some papers and practice along with me. Let's look at example 1. In example 1 we're given two terms here, 1 over 2y plus 1 over 3xy. Let's look at the both denominators. First one is 2y, the second one is 3xy. You see that they are not of similar terms. Therefore, we can't do it this way. This is what some of you folks may attempt to do, right? This is not correct. So what is the correct way of combining two fractions into one single fraction? Yes, you have to make both denominators have the same value. So how do we do it? So the current situation is, for the first term, the denominator is 2y, which is equivalent to 2 times y. The second one is 3xy, which is equivalent to 3 times x times y. So therefore, what do you think is the lowest common multiple of these two values, 2y and 3xy? So one easy way of doing it is just to identify the common factor. In this case here, it's the letter y. And then the next step is just take the remaining and multiply them together, which is 3x times 2. Then times the common factor. You cannot leave the common factor out also. So therefore, the lowest common multiple for 2y and 3xy would be 6xy. To summarize, what I'm trying to say here is that you multiply the common factor one time only. You see, the common factor is y, so you only multiply one y. And then the other two values, you just multiply them together. Okay, right. So now we know that our lowest common multiple has to be 6xy. So what do I multiply my 2 times y with? Yes, I multiply with 3x. And then for my 3xy, I multiply with 2. So now that now that we understand that the lowest common multiple is 6xy, let us go about applying it to our first term. So I'm going to multiply the numerator and denominator both with 3x. And then for the second term, multiply the numerator and denominator with 2. So 1 times 3x will give you 3x over 6xy plus 1 times 2 will give you 2 over 6xy. So now we have the same denominator, we can add the numerator. So this is similar to what we have done in the primary school math. If you're given 2/3 plus 1/4, we can't add them until we make the denominator the same, right? So the denominator is 12 in this case here. The lowest common multiple for 3 and 4 is 12. So you just multiply with the 4 and this with the 3. And now I can add the numerator. Right, so whatever you've learned earlier on still holds, just that now we are extending it to solving algebraic fractions. Right, let's look at example 2. In example 2, let's look at the two terms that are given. If we were to examine the denominators, one is a plus 4 and one is a minus 4. And clearly, there's no common factor between them. The only common factor is 1. Right, so this question is similar to the one we have done earlier on, the numerical example that we have discussed. If you're given 1/3 plus 1/4, we see that the numbers 3 and 4, there's no common factor. So therefore, the lowest common multiple would just be 12. That means you just multiply them together to get 12 as the lowest common multiple. So likewise, in this case, the lowest common multiple would just be a plus 4 multiplied it with bracket a minus 4 to get to bracket a plus 4 times bracket a minus 4. Then for the second one, bracket a minus 4 close bracket, you multiply with bracket a plus 4. All right. So now we have determined the lowest common multiple for both terms. This is what we need to do next. All right. So we're going to combine them into a single fraction. So I have 1 times bracket a minus 4 plus 2 times bracket a plus 4 over a plus 4 and a minus 4. Okay, and that will give us a minus 4 plus this. You have to apply the distributive law to give us positive 2a, positive 8. There's no need to expand your denominator. So you will have a plus 2a, which is 3a. Negative 4 plus 8 gives you positive 4. And this is how we do it. Right, let's look at the last questions. The last questions is slightly more challenging. Right, why is it more challenging? It's because you will have to apply one of the algebraic identities you have learned earlier on. If you recall in the earlier math syllabus, there are 3 algebraic identities. One is your bracket a plus b, close bracket to the power of 2, that will give you a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. The other one is this. Then the third one is the one that is quite regularly used. Right, a squared minus b squared. A squared minus b squared. If you factorize it, you will have bracket a plus b, a minus b. So this one is worth the effort of trying to remember it, because we do use it quite frequently in the algebraic manipulations problem solving. Okay. So which one do we need to apply your a squared minus b squared? Yes, this one here. Because your 25a squared minus b squared is equivalent to 5a multiplied with another 5a. Then b squared is equivalent to b times b, right? So if you were to split it into 2 linear factors, it's 5a minus b and then 5a plus b. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Right, so this we're going to write it as 2 over 5a minus b minus 3a over 5a minus b bracket 5a plus b. All right, so the next step now is we need to find our common denominator. Common denominators. Okay, so how do we do it? Right, so we're going to apply that what we learned earlier on. For the first term, the denominator is 5a minus b, which is equivalent to bracket 5a minus b times 1. The second one is 5a minus b times 5a plus b. Right, so if you're going to compare the first denominator with the second denominator, then the common factor is 5a minus b. Just going to put it down, right? And the next thing, you just multiply it with the other two terms to get our common denominator for both terms. All right, so this is our common denominator for both terms. So if you look at the first term, I need to multiply this with bracket 5a plus b at the denominator, also at the numerator. But for the second term, I've already had bracket 5a minus b and 5a plus b, so I don't need to multiply with anything. And so the next step becomes going to combine them right into a single fractions. So we will have 2 times bracket 5a plus b minus 3a, and this will give us 10a plus 2b minus 3a. Simplifying further, 10a minus 3a will give us 7a. So 7a plus 2b. All right, so this is our answer of this question.